How did your Haitian experience or your Haitian identity impact your schooling? Did it have any positive or negative effect?
It did work against me in certain times, in certain respects. I could say that elementary and early junior high, yeah, you know, the offensive remarks, the beefs with other young people, other students, all of whom were black. I'll be honest with you, that's a stupid thing that blacks they chop at others who are similar to them. Um, and we're talking about the intense nastiness because people don't really, kids can be really nasty. We're talking about people essentially who go from being dark brown skin, both whether they're Trini, they're Jamaican, African American. I'm talking to you. If you strip them butt naked and you'll put them in a place either like Abidjan or you just put them anywhere else in the world outside of Africa or some big major black region in the world, Colombia or Brazil. People literally they won't bat an eye to think what's the major difference. I'm talking about non-black folks. They won't bat an eye. But the constant attacks about you being Haitian, you're this, you're that.
Was it just word? Did it ever get physical?
No, like it would just be insults. Sometimes it'll be threats. Other times it'd just be general stereotypes. Like I never forgot when I was in high school, Jamaican shorty. Like I was talking to her friend because I was interested in her friend. She interjected and she asked me, "What am I?" And she was like, and I was just like, "I'm Haitian." She was like, "You're cute for a Haitian." And at the time, being the fact I was young, I was like probably like 17, 16 or 17, going on 18. I just felt like there was something wrong with what she said, but I couldn't really think, but it just felt wrong. Like, I'm cute for a Haitian. But through the years, I thought about it. But I just think that, again, that complex, that inferiority but superiority complex comes out in other blacks. And that really rubbed me wrong. And through the years, I thought about it in other ways about going to school. I never forgot in college, this Haitian made a presentation in our communication class, and she was just basically maligning voodoo. And I just couldn't understand. Even then, because I was at the time I was really much into church culture. But even then, I just couldn't understand why is it that of all the things about our culture you gotta present it in this way. Why do you have to present it in such a negative way? So I just think that, schooling was very unique in showing to me the prejudices of society early on, even amongst blacks about how how they perceive and view Haitians. So it was really that.
Did you at any point ever try to hide your Haitian identity?
Oh, there were phases. Yeah. I hate it because it was just something that I didn't feel so connected with in the early years. I remember one time wearing a Haitian flag around after what? It was around Flag Day, somewhere around that time. But I think I really did it because I saw all the other Caribbean kids doing it.
This is high school.
Yeah, no, this is middle school. I felt so stupid wearing a Haitian flag because I'm just like, I don't know Haiti. I don't know much about it. I don't speak Creole that well. It was just, apart from that, sometimes I'll just say I'm American. I'm born here. I didn't really, it wasn't somewhere that I really had a conception about. So I wasn't, there are times, yeah, I definitely did hide it, without a doubt.
So at what point did you get this awakening of sort and that you felt that you needed to know more and immerse yourself more in the culture?
I could say 18 going on 19. Largely after meeting my friend in high school, starting to be around him, I began to realize that our families knew each other back in northern Haiti. You know, our families all grew up. His, if I could probably say, his step granddad, well, for his mother, I guess you would say that, but his aunt's father knew my grandpa because they were both major farmers. They owned a lot of property and land, and through that, this is the fact that I've always heard about this area of Haiti that my dad would always speak about. I was just like, okay, so there is some type of connection. And when they spoke to me about what Haiti was and their experiences, it sounded very humanly. You know, it's not like what so many people in the community, especially Haitians, because I gotta say sidebar, a lot of Haitians, they're very pessimistic, and they talk real bad about their own homeland. It just sounded like it was a normal life, you know, going to school, working, you know, people partying, and then there was just history, you know. Hearing about my grandpa, as I became more and more aware about like what my dad would say about him. The man was a tailor, the man was a farmer, put his 11 of his kids through school, you understand what I mean? And that began to resonate with me around being 19, because 19 is when now I began to see that as you going into your 20s, like there is a vision I have for myself as a man. And now hearing about the fact that, you know, my grandpa was a tanner, this guy who, you know, who my friend, you know, he was related to, who was another major farmer out there, just like, these were people who lived lives. And, you know, they did things. So that imbued in me a sense of curiosity and a desire. So, of course, you know, being that I'm a history buff, I've read a lot about Haitian history, continued onwards, speaking the language. I began to be able to communicate now in my 20s with more and more Haitians who showed me a different side of Haiti through photography, through just learning that it's just like everything is not doom and gloom. You understand what I mean? And I guess with time too, I also too did the work of throwing off that ignorant bullshit attitude that, you know, oh, you're Haitian, you're this, you're you know, you're low, you a booty scratch. Because then I began working with other blacks. I'm seeing they're going through the same thing. They can't go back home. Jamaicans can't really go home that easy. You know, they have poverty in their societies. I'm seeing it with Hispanics. They're poor too. I'm seeing it with other whites. They're poor as well. You understand? Even though they live here in the U.S., it's just like they suffer. They live from paycheck to paycheck. So I began to realize that a lot of this prejudice just comes from people's feelings and sentiments. And fortunately and unfortunately, feelings aren't everything. I mean, it pervades in all aspects of life. So I just began to see that I had this sense that I wanted to know more about Haiti. There was a draw, there was a desire. I felt that, no, I feel fine about being Haitian. I love the food, you know, the artwork I came to appreciate. Furthermore, the paintings, remembering how my dad used to have so many different paintings from Haiti that was hung up in our old apartment, you know, back in Flatbush. I saw that there's something nice, and it, you know, I didn't appreciate it during my adolescence. I ignored it in many ways, but then that capacity, that desire, that drive, it came in intensely, in my 20s. Yeah.